I've been performing Judas Iscariot now since 1982. So what's that, 43 years or more? And whenever I perform Judas, I often tell the story at the end during question and answers about one time I performed Judas for high school, college kids. There were 400 kids there that particular performance. And this one kid, when I came out as Judas, this one kid about 3 rows back, 4 or 5 people in, kept smiling. And the more dramatic I got as Judas, the bigger he smiled. And it was bugging me. So I started to direct all the attention, all of the energy of Judas, I would direct toward this young boy. And the more I did it, the more dramatic I got, the more intense I got, the bigger he smiled. And it kept bugging me. And so at the end, when I finished, I walked off. And as usual, I come back to answer questions. And to show you how good a Christian I am, when I came back, I said to myself, if his is the only hand up, I'm not calling on him. So I come back out and I ask, are there any questions? And the only hand up is this one young boy. Do I call on him? Am I a good Christian? No, I turn my back. I'm looking to the people on the other side. Are there any questions? No one's helping me. So finally I turn back to this boy. He starts doing the Horseshack thing. Ooh, call me. So I finally called him and I said, yes, young man. And the moment he started to speak, I could tell he was somehow mentally disabled. And I felt very small. I felt to myself, how dare I judge this person? What gives me the right to judge this person? And then I asked him, I said, what is your question? He said, do you know how you said that you, as an apostle and the other apostles following Jesus, were laughed at, you were chased, people spit at you, called you names? And I said, yes. He says, I feel like I must be an apostle. That happens to me every day at school. Well, let me tell you, I felt even smaller. I felt smart. This young boy was teaching me a lesson, and I asked him, I said, what is your name? And he smiled, and he said, my name is Matthew. And I said, well, Matthew, in my book, you are an apostle. I said, do you have any friends at school? And he said, oh, I have one. I said, oh, what's his or her name? And he looked up at me, big smile, didn't bother me anymore, his smile. And he said, Jesus. Now, I've met a lot of big famous people, a lot of powerful people in my life. I've read a lot of books, and I have learned more from the people like Matthew that God has put in my life than from all the famous people, all the books I've read. That was a powerful message that Matthew taught me 40 plus years ago. I remember it like it was yesterday. I have no right to judge another people. That was God working through Matthew to teach me to be a better person, to not judge others. God works through us.